Actually, see, we have none. Okay. Seems like everything is okay, although I should mute this stream. And actually, I don't know what I'll be doing. I had a pretty busy day, so I think this will be one more short stream probably, but we'll see. I kind of would like enums being strongly typed. So probably would want to expand the types. What I would eventually want is make strip runtime values of their type, and use this tag offset instead of slot. Right. So that's what I would do. So I would say this, and also would say use different opcodes for different types, right? Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. So this is basically for performance because we don't actually very much care about the type. Like, we shouldn't really have to keep track of the type for the runtime part. It's like a very dynamic thing, like what a non-typed language would do, or rather non-statically typed language. So dynamically typed language would keep track of it on the runtime. What we really want is we just want a compile time type of, and we would want the type to be like basically baked in on the compilation phase, and we shouldn't need to create the runtime. One thing is that there will be type any, I think. Move it here. So this should probably, or do we just copy JI's if? We could use this, right, instead of a switch. It's funny that I would be doing a switch statement because not so long ago I was actually talking about how the switch syntax could be improved over what it by default is. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the JAI thing. I definitely like the fact that it starts as an if, right, like this, because this makes it easier to refactor. I also like really wouldn't mind saying like switch x. I don't think that's a big deal because then like you just say if x equals 4, let's say that's the default, and then all you have to say. I mean that's kind of a bit of typing. It's not the end of the world, but I like the idea of being able to just say this, right? Or JI for some reason uses semicolons, which is like technically breaking the convention, but whatever you mean. Nobody says like I wouldn't really argue that the convention is that great anyway. So, but I don't know. I'm used to columns. It's just I'm also like used to the reference being a star and this being address of, and in JI it's actually a bit weird. I mean, address of being a star I kind of get because it's like the type, right? So you have like type int, and then you say like x of type int is the address of my int or whatever, right? It's kind of looks nice, and then make it even less confusing, you'd say this. Although I just wouldn't mind this. I think JA used to use the hat, but there was some reason why it was changed. But now what you have to do for JI is actually the reference operator is this, which is really, I find it really confusing. Not sure why that is. There's probably some good reason, I just don't know. Or maybe that's just something to be revised later, not sure. Haven't asked on the beta server. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, this is another language, so it doesn't really matter what JI does. Although there's obvious inspiration with the... I think they call it walrus operator, right? There's inspiration from that. I think that's like a very genius thing. I think that was like originally suggested by Sin Baron, if I'm correct. Anyways, I find it really neat. And I also like this is sort of maybe difficult to type or whatever, but I really like this idea of like this somehow makes intuitive sense that you have a name and you have cons declare and then you just have like the function literal that is so compelling instead of having like function or I don't know fn run away. Like this, you just say you just use the same thing that you would normally do for defining a constant, right? It's very compelling. And some languages also, like C obviously does the type here. Right? Anyways, I don't actually know what I will do today. I was thinking, what was I thinking? I was thinking the type system. I think yesterday I said that I would want. I think yesterday I said I would want to do. I think I wanted to add support for make and whatnot. Let's actually add AI script here. So this is the Kai script. I don't know about Qs yet. I would do those functions today, but I don't really want to do a long stream, and this seems like something that would take a moment. Seems it's pretty involved. Okay, so one thing that I should definitely check is if params work, because I don't actually know if they do. Because there's one thing that I found out that say test, and I have a theory that this actually will not work correctly. So I think it will print I twice. Say test 1, 2. I'm pretty sure that's what will happen, but maybe I'm wrong. How about I am, but it's pretty sure it's broken. Right. Okay. So I decided to remove those yesterday, and I think say this. Maybe I even say, maybe I say this. It's more like the language would want. Yeah, it's really good. I think I will remove that. I'm sorry, Kian, but he's a bit difficult. He's yelling freeze at me. I don't really I don't really like being yelled at. Something's busted. Seems like nothing worked actually. Oh, what? That was weird. Okay. And what we have here is this. It does work. It does actually work. Interesting. It's very interesting. I'm not sure. Not sure why. Because params. Oh, they declare. Oh, okay. They actually allocate a virus line. Okay. A failure needs to be. Let's try doing the types. And I think I'll say. Ah, this is bullshit, by the way. Let's refactor none. Let's just say return break and continue because this predates bytecode, so that's why it was implemented like that. And now all we need really is return because the other ones don't care. Okay. Break. And continue. Say this. Say this. And then we'll just say this. And here we say return like this. So return is just return now. I really fucking hate the fact that we only do type resolution after parsing. I wish we could have done it in parsing. I think that architecture was so much better to work with. The problem is I don't think light bound variables would be possible that way. Here we just say printf continue, I think. That's all we need. And breaks the same. I actually think. Oh, you know what we don't do? To do check. Actually, we'll do that in a sec because we already have something for this. We'll say if I think it's the types count, right? Last, or maybe it's resolver. Last, where is last continue? That's in the compiler. We'll say handled or resolved in compiler. And that does it. Outer cast should do nothing if the type is unspecified, right? Okay. I Feel like if there's no, maybe if there's no type, that's when we should do. Maybe we should check if expression is actually null or something. I don't know. Not sure. Lots of those I feel like shouldn't even exist. Like, I feel like probably those should be removed. But I think I'm gonna keep them for the sake of. Huh. So I would remove them because you can already do everything with acing and wait. And you get more control with that. It's just. Isn't it? Isn't it easier with those statements? I don't know. Like, it's definitely easier. So. Huh. Don't know. I feel like they should be removed, honestly. Is for when the problem is you can't control the interval right now, so it always waits every 1 second, and you can't even break from the when. And same happens with wait until. And then after and every are trivially implementable with async and one while loop. Not sure. And it's also trivially, or is it? No, it's trivially implementable with I thought it's trivially implementable to just have like a function that does some of those, like re-implementing wait until, for example, as a function. That should be possible, but after every and when, I'm not sure are possible to implement, re-implement in the language itself. Our problem is you can't pass code to a function. Maybe you should be able to. Although that would require that function to be inlined. It could be an interesting thing, though. I think it's sort of what JI does with its like hash one or whatever. Right? Well, I actually don't remember all of those. There's so much interesting things you can do with the language. It's like allows you to output a string. It allows you to like compute a string and then use it for compilation. It's really fucking crazy. It's really great. Although super easy to abuse too, so just have to be careful who you hire, I guess. Some people just will abuse things. I mean, most feels like programming culture problem where people will just abuse things so much with like templates, for example, or virtual functions is a really good example. So abused. It's just, I mean, it's kind of the problem that people just recommend it so much for no reason. Okay, let's think about types. So I think what I will do is, so first of all, runtime type. That doesn't really compute for me because, or maybe that makes sense to be called runtime type. And then maybe struct variable type. It's runtime type. Hmm. Maybe what I say is compile time. And float string function enum. As really just is a value type because currently anyways. There would be a struct for a function and what it would include is as probably includes runtime type as result type and compile type. Oh. I feel like what I need to do is just always use yeah, I can actually move it here because this is just struct parameter. It feels like I always should just use variable type, and runtime type would be something reserved for runtime, right? Hmm. Is that something I can just move to runtime? Let's see. Value. So this is definitely a problem. But ignoring that, I would just replace this with compile type. Right, a variable type is what I'm looking for. No, I definitely need to have this be here. Except this, I think I can move above. Maybe below is fine, and then runtime value is something I need to move below function, I think. Was it here? Don't remember. Can move it here as early as here. I don't think function is currently that important, honestly. Okay, and now I think what I will do is say runtime type. I'll say compiler the variable type to runtime type. Say variable type. Wait, this is no root. We don't use namespaces. Rows. So now switching on the type, we'll say case. This is actually compile time. Runtime type is something we would ideally completely remove eventually. It's an implementation detail for now, you could say. So this is flood. Enum is actually just an int. And string is just a string. Otherwise we return runtime type none. Although I think I should also say this, right? And in this case we would probably say might be wrong here. The problem is that currently I have this really stupid thing where I treat every phase, like I use a different struct for every phase, which makes this complicated here. Because I might want to use this utility function in different phases, but I can't really log an error without either a resolver or a compiler or whatever, right? And it makes sense that runtime has a different different thing. Or maybe even that parser has, because parser just uses the current token, and resolver uses like expression token or statement token, right? Yeah, say variable type to. I feel like this is something I should just call var type. I'm even gonna. Honestly, is from the variable type. Is the name. This would be full variable type. Right? I don't know. Let's stick with var type and variable type, even though this is a bit confusing. But when things clarify, I'll rename them again. Now this will use var type, although enum and function. And this would be probably like convert to runtime type. Convert to runtime type. Okay, and what is neat about this is you just use the same thing. It's just a bit different because so I wouldn't want to repeat myself like that. We just translate enums to ints, floats to floats, strings to strings. So now compile type is just var type. Kind of silly. Don't really like that architecture, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, what's up, Tarzan? Dude, how did you find me? Var type. Runtime time is word time. But I'm making a language to make my own StarCraft game. You are? Wow. Didn't remember. Yo, we didn't like play for like what, 5 years now? No, probably less. We tried Warcraft 3 at one time. It was really fun. I think Warcraft is a good game. Okay, so here, what is this type? OpenGL is not hard, but it's stupid at times for sure. Variable type. Salt type. So here we actually need something for enums, which means we need to pass a type scope. And now else we'll say find symbol. It's not, it was none. Oh. This is crap. Marseille will just say lecture. I remember when you made like a weird Python script to like lock in champions in League of Legends, though. That was funny. Enum name. Are you? What do you do in C++? Don't tell me you're doing oop, oopsie, oopsie doopsie. So here I'll just assume, we assume it's an enum since we don't have an enum table in parsing stage. We should resolve later to make sure this type is valid. Are you what? Will we be working for CERN? Hmm. I think I'm streaming like for the third week now, but it's funny that you found me now. Dude, I should show you the game. But you know, I have 107 errors now because I'm refactoring. So, oh, am I stupid? You obviously don't need a type scope here. There's no type scope. It's not allowed. Yeah, I'm making an RTS. Um, there's an RTS and there's also a Brood War mod. You should play that one day. It's pretty good. It's way better than StarCraft 2. I think StarCraft 2 is honestly, after working so long on something better, I feel like StarCraft 2 is pretty bad. So. And one like big problem with the Brood War mod, I think, is that we still have a selection limit, so you can only select 12 units. That's something we want to remove, but it's an involved process. It involves a lot of reverse engineering. Okay, I'll use for type here. Yeah, we are working as a team. Well, it's mostly me and Pronago. And people in this community shit on Stormgate, so I think it's really fun. But I don't honestly know. It looks like it kind of looks worse than StarCraft 2, which is somehow like StarCraft 2 was already pretty cartoony, right? And this is even more. I should have like a function that says like static bool is or maybe type equals, and we'll say variable type a variable MV. But yeah, if you need help with C or C++, let me know. I can help you with that. I think I'm pretty decent at it. So now if a type equals var type enum, enum name. So now we would say return string equals. We'll compare the names. Be enum name like this. There's a lot of errors. One thing that I really want you to pay attention to is now I broke the program. I did it intentionally, and the reason I did it is because now I have a list of things I have to still correct, and that's not possible in Python. That's a big difference. It's like a big productivity improvement because now I just know that there's something here that needs my attention, and I just look at the code, I decide what to do. And in Python, if you have something fucked, you will only know about it when you run the program and when shit happens. So, okay, so anyways, if type equals... Actually, maybe what I should do is define an operator, which is kind of gay, but... Equals. Maybe I'll even use references, I don't know. Not a big fan, but whatever. It satisfies the compiler and it actually generates good comments. That's fine. Operator. This, and this is just return. It is only easier because you have a lot of libraries. That's really great for like the sciencey stuff, I think. But for non-sciencey stuff, like for when that's not a barrier, it's actually harder to maintain programs in Python because I mean, sure, not having to care about a type is great until you do actually have to. Because Python still has types; they are just hidden, and they also can just randomly change. And if you'll program long enough, you'll just see that Python sometimes does really weird things, especially if you're working on a big project. So now anytime I had var type, anytime I pass it, yeah, anytime I do this, I honestly would just rather do this. Oh, I need a space. Actually, I don't want any promotion rules for enums, I don't think. Yeah, sure. Good to hear, Dan. Yeah, I'm glad you're alive too. And yeah, physics. That's something I should probably um look into at some point, and also just like talk to you about some interesting stuff, I guess. But yeah, if you got to go, then I'll see you later. And I have to fix this broken program. It's fucking big. Big and broken. Okay, so now when we cast from type equals var type and 2 static bool can cast to helper. It's probably where I actually use var type. I don't know, maybe not. And enum to enum is also important because those are ones that we could want to cast. And in most cases, I would say if the types are equal, they return true. And I guess we'll say that var type. We don't want to pass functions to functions. That seems bad. Okay, and actually this is something I should probably rather write here. Like this. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing that. It should be a flown. That's wrong. So the var type should just be this, right? I need to be. Okay, I'm back. Okay, in this case, I think we just say this. Here we would say salt type equals this. Turn. I wish this wasn't. I wish this was better. Architected more sensibly. Okay. Var type. XT. Honestly, I should just make static void. Maybe what I should probably do is take this, right? And now what I should do is do... Huh. So I cut it, and I should move it to the parser, probably. On the top. It seems like a resolver thing, right? Or is it though? I don't know. It's probably more like a parser thing. Or I don't know. I should just make a fucking. I should just make a new file that is not like stage dependent. Huh. So obviously shouldn't go here. It should go to the CPP file. Yeah, this file's already fucking big. Okay. I would make this an inline function, but it's fine. This would be like, what did I name this? Convert to runtime type. This should just be called make type. Here it should be make enum type. Make type. Make enum type. Okay, reach type. Reach type is where I would probably say. So here actually return make type var type int. Right. And here we say return make enum type enum name at. Yeah, we'll say this. Result type. Make type. Maybe I should just call this var type ID and have this be called var type. I don't know. Yeah, this could be a UH, right? I mean, all of them could be. Probably something I should start doing. I don't know. I'm doing that yet, but eventually I should probably start doing that. Type flagging stuff. Probably just make type. Now, anytime I used like dot type like this, and I assign, that's probably where I should. So like here I should make type. And maybe in this case I just say this, right? Here I should definitely make type, var type, and return make type, var type. So wait, what is this? Var type float. Now this one would be var type none. Now here, this is really neat because this is just make type like this. No. Runtime type. Oh! Look at this, we compiled. That feels great, honestly. I thought I have more things in Resolver. It's probably because I did this few times, and I would want to replace it with the hyperflag. Make type. This is also probably where I would make a type instead of doing whatever. Make type. That's fine. Okay. I think it works. Just now, one thing is that we should. Let's see if we work. We seem to. It's just now if I say int equals numbers 0, we'll also say this numbers. Actually, I should pick a better name. Num I and num n, I guess. We'll print both of them. And I think those should actually work because because of implicit casting. That sucks because that means invalid cast. Yeah, it's stupid. Okay, can cast 2. Can cast. There's resolver. Can cast 2. Another thing I would want to protect against is saying num xd equals number 0. I wouldn't want you to be able to. Yeah, that seems should be prevented since xt doesn't exist as an enum. I already kind of passed the time that I wanted this to take, but I think there's good work being done, so not stop at done yet. And now with can cast 2 is we should say static bool can explicit cast 2, right? And we'll have implicit cast 2. And I don't think casting, say like that. So in AutoCAD we should say is implicit cast 2. Here we say explicit cast 2. Only one thing, one problem is that, wait, so, no, I think AutoCast is which allows, yeah, it checks for implicit. Okay. And our explicit should be more permissive, where we can actually cast anything to anything. And I think what I should say here is, so resource runtime, convert to runtime type. So I'll say if the underlying runtime type is the same between the two, right? We'll just say return underlying type is the same. So we don't need to emit a runtime cast. Okay. Okay. That seems to be implicitly supported. Okay, so we should probably have like a resolve type thing, right? Okay. So now what I would do here is I would just say if type dot type equals var type enum, we'll say symbol get symbol find symbol resolver type scope token, and that would be type enum name, and what we would expect is var type enum, and we do care about parent scopes. Oh, I'm sorry, that's symbol type. Yeah, something wasn't right. Symbol, I will say if no symbol, we say resolver token, invalid enum. And I think that's already. Undefined enum type. That's what I'll say additionally. Okay. And now really. Should probably be here. Oh, this is completely incorrect. This should be enum name. And here I can say the same thing. Okay. Maybe what I do here is I actually just say maybe I always just say do that, right? Resolver. Maybe that's what I always call. I mean, sure, but also one other thing is like declare. Then I will just resolve the type inside of the declare variable type, and we'll say symbol var type solver type scope token should be var type, I believe. Okay. I think now I should correctly say that. I actually will say symbol type none. And I will say either symbol is non-existent or the symbol type is an enum. That way we only get one error. And then okay, yeah. Now we seem to be working correctly. And now in binops, I think promotion type, if A type is var type and or rather enum, and B type is var type int, right? I will just return A, and we'll do the same for when it's reversed. So say this, right? So that way we automatically promote to the integer here, right? Mm-hmm. Hmm. The enum probably works as well here, right? Okay. Yeah, okay. And now in case of is I think that's actually it. Invalid binary up. And I think the reason actually seems to be, so let's see, promotion type, right? I think the reason is because we have not added enum to here. So yeah, I think that means we have strongly typed enums with correct stuff here. And of course, unable to resolve. So I think actually what needs to happen here is I need an eyeball. It's like print error. So here we just propagate it. Here we say false, right? Actually, when would I want to say print error if necessary? False. False. Here actually false as well. When exactly is the error? I guess here. is where I usually don't have my custom. Where I just have a default error. That's kind of dumb. I should probably just remove that bug completely and print an error explicitly always. Okay, so now XD is now gone. And actually, for implicit casting, I do not want enums to be implicitly castable. Honestly, this will be weird, but I'll make it so enums can be implicitly casted to ins, but not vice versa. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't. No, I want that. I want enums to be autocastable to ins. Or do I? I don't know. This bind is wrong. I don't know why. It should just work correctly. I think that's because binary up. Yeah, it's because promotion type in this case is, we should say, explicit, or allow explicit cast. Or maybe is internal cast. And we'll say if it's internal cast, we'll do a difference check for when it's a non-internal, and in this case we say this, and in this case we say, so we allow any kind of valid cast explicit, implicit. So for the binub, we just allow any kind of thing. Because that's something that the engine just supports, right? By default, it's false. Okay. Is there actually any difference between allow any valid cast? Is what I would say. Okay. And I'm still not sure about this rule. Because for parameter passing, I think I'll just not allow this to be implicit. It's the simplest, most consistent thing we can do. So in this case, we just cast to int, and in this case, we cast to numbers. Okay. And we have an invalid cast. And I think the reason for that is that yeah, I think so. What we'll do is, instead of convert to runtime type, right? Convert to runtime type. Instead of removing this on this level, I will do it on compiler level. I will say if expression result type is equal to No, I still want to do that, but so if the result type of them both is the same, that's when we wouldn't emit the opcode. Yeah. Okay. That's done. So we have so those types are basically aliases, but it's like it's still strong timed because it doesn't allow accidental passing. And why is this a big deal? Is because if we make something like make unit ID, comma, priority, and we'll say count. So this is sort of like, I sort of have a thing that we, like it's sort of some progress towards the native functions that I wanted to define today, but they didn't. And now if I say this, this should be actor manifest one priority I, right? We just print count unit priority, right? Oh, of course. Yeah, it just works. Do we print it correctly? I don't know. Say this. Oh, we seem to be printing it correctly. One thing I would want to do, though, is and print. This kind of requires me to treat print. How do I do this? I want print to give me the value. But maybe what I say is like enum name, unit ID, Maverick, and that's like a function that I have. I don't know. I really would want that to just work. Huh. So here we just have access to runtime value. So like sort of when we compile a print statement. For print enum name, or maybe enum name and emit enum name, maybe. I can't do that. Huh. That will require some runtime type information, I think, but I'll add that to the list. What we have today, though, is meaningful progress, and this is working. And we are sort of like, we also took first steps towards this. Yeah, it's just works. I think what I would want is print when when printing enums, use their name where applicable. Runtime type information. Enum type information maybe needs to store runtime type enum information. Maybe make a function. Maybe make a enum name. An enum name directive. I don't actually like even having to do that, to be honest. That probably just means might require tagging print. I don't know. I don't want the enum type to have to be the part of the runtime. Like, I don't want it to be attached to the variable. I want it to just be treated like an int on the runtime, right? Don't know. Anyways, this is all I did for today. I will quickly write a thing in Antikythera because that was a request. Made enums strongly typed. And my example here is how this works. So for many strongly types and made enums an official type of the language. Okay, I don't know, made enums strongly typed is what I will say. And say today on stream I have made enum strongly types and also refactored some of the type internal type handling, which should soon allow me to strip runtime and various string have made enum strongly typed, also refactored some of the internal type handling. Also refactor some of internal type, which should allow me to soon strip runtime of type information, which will make the language I'll say make the runtime faster. As an example of enum typing, or an example of enum typing, we'll just have this, right? Compiles just fine. Error. How do you say What is like an adjective for error? Error knows. Inputs are caught by the compiler. And we'll just screen this again. And we'll do this. Casting from int to enum and vice versa is allowed using the cast type directive. However, if you use enums and arithmetic operations, it will not, the compiler will not complain and will still retain the enum type. And promotes to the enum. Posting that on the Antikythera channel for anyone interested. Actually, one thing I should forbid. Arithmetic operation between enums, between two enums are for two different enum types are forbidden. Maybe I allow like saying maybe, so if I see like numbers 0 plus numbers 2, right? Maybe that should be allowed. Currently, you can actually add any enum together, which is not unintentional. So currently, you can technically add priority high to unit ID. You pretty sure that just works, which is a problem. Although I am pretty sure that this will not work because this is converted to, oh, what? Those both work. Well, we should also say an example of enum casting. Okay. I think one other thing is WTF. It's actually kind of weird. Um, Actually, that's fine. The example is not very practical. Okay, that's what I will say. Actually, this is not an example, that's examples. And here we'll say examples of enum typing. Holy fuck. Okay, so yeah, this is Lexer ELF Lexer and end. Okay, so they should do. So currently there's like an infinite thing, and I feel like if Lexer ELF, I don't know, bool exited early equals true, and in this case we say this equals false, and we'll say Lexer error, and we'll say Lexer and no matching close for no matching pair for comment unexpected end of file, no matching pair for comment pair. No matching comment close comment. I don't know. So now what we should get is okay, and now the reason we get a problem is I don't actually know why. Okay, I know why. Because I'm a goofball. What? Wait, what? There's autocast expression var type. Autocast. We don't allow any cast. Explicit cast. No, it should be implicit cast. Can I see this? Should really clean stuff up. This is something I can remove. Michael was probably fine. Oh, that's very interesting. So a token is one. It's you. Okay, so when we declare a type. Yeah, let's see what it is. Value declare variable type. It's actually so strange because it seems like declare is just broken. Let's see, parser, declare. Yeah, this is for params. Should probably be a static statement. Why parse enum declaration, right? This would be identified out. Okay. Okay, statement enum declare equals this. If enum declare, we return enum declare, otherwise to this, the function, and otherwise we do this, right? I see. So the it's weird. Let's see what was happening here. Huh. No, I think I'm not even doing the correct thing because it's reading this. We'll remove that. The result type is none. Interesting, let's do that again. Okay, so this actually needs to do more. Resolver. Okay, and now what this says is I need a Lex token. So annoying. A token. Just do that. And also this result thing. I actually want to copy this and get rid of every instance of that because we shouldn't need that. Outside of make type is make type, for type, none. Okay. Make type, for type, none. Okay, now it says involve a binary operation. That's exactly what we need. And now what I want to check is that we don't do incorrect assigns. Let's see, let's hope that works. Yeah. Seems we're golden. Okay. That's it from me, so see you